Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Adam, and you are watching Unlimited Options Investing. In this video, we're going to be talking about two old goodies we used to talk about a lot on the channel. The first being Brookfield Renewable Energy, BEP, or BEPC, the corporation. And the second one being Algonquin Power and Utilities, ticker symbol AQN. Both are headquartered in Toronto, whereas technically actually Brookfield Renewable is headquartered in Bermuda, but that's for tax purposes. But Brookfield Asset Management is headquartered in Toronto. So both have had a very volatile 2021. I am very big on both of them as retirement stocks for the long term, as they are a combination of growth, value, and dividend. I still stand by that, even though the prices have kind of been all over the place. But we're going to get more into that and the stock prices and my predictions and what's been going on with them. So if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's begin. Firstly, talking about the companies, I've made separate videos on the fundamentals and how I think they're both very strong fundamentally in terms of growing dividends, growing revenues, investing in themselves, so on and so forth. So I'm going to link those in my description below. So firstly, taking a look at Brookfield Renewable Corporation. It trades at $53.79 Canadian with a market cap of $9.26 billion. With a dividend yield of 2.82%. Looking at Brookfield Renewable Partners, so it's the same company, but the partnership, it trades at a little bit less of a premium. So the market cap very similarly at $13.72 billion, and a dividend a little bit higher because, again, the price is lower at 2.98%. And taking a look at Algonquin Power and Utilities, it has a market cap of $12 billion Canadian with a dividend yield very juicy at 4.37%, which is a reason I really like this company, of many reasons. But again, its dividend yield for what it gives as a bonus is that sweet cherry on top. And taking a look at the candlestick, so this is Brookfield Renewable Corporation. Every candlestick here is showing a time frame of 1 day. So we have been in a bit of an uptrend over the past few months, ever since about May when it found its bottom, as a lot of the other stocks in the market did around that same time. So it has been a very silent uptrender over the past few months. And again, renewables are a very strong, they have very strong secular tailwinds over the next decade. And I feel like Brookfield Renewable is going to be one of those premier names in the sector. And once Wall Street and big money catches onto it, it's going to be a conglomerate when it comes to renewables. So that's the hope, that's the potential it has. It's not for sure. And I think once money and momentum steps into it, it has that potential. But again, it has been in a slow uptrend over the past few months. It seems to have found that bottom at about $45. It's well below its 200 simple moving day average. So again, it has that potential. So we're looking at a break of about that $60 mark. If we can break that area with conviction, again, where that 200 simple moving day average is roughly, as well as a lot of selling pressure around this area as well from this past April and February time. So if we can get past that area, again, $60 with conviction, with volume, and we're continuing that uptrend, we can test again this $70 mark, and then we can see from there. And then, but again, at that point, passing that $60 mark, it would give Brookfield that upward momentum that it could see, again, those upper limits that it was seeing earlier this year and at the end of 2020. My guess is if the stock does continue uptrending from here and then it reaches that $58, $59, $60 mark, it is going to see a lot of resistance at those points. So it's going to be interesting to see the battle between both the bears and the bulls. So stay tuned. Keep it on your watch list. Again, in my opinion, this is a beautiful, beautiful stock that when it does go lower, you average down, you get your cost basis low, so that in a few years from now you look back and you're happy you bought it when it was trading below this purple line of the 200 moving day average. Because a lot of the time when you can snag a stock, a very strong fundamental stock at a low price, long term you'll be more happy more often than not. So that is Brookfield Renewable. And looking at Algonquin, again on the TSX, still trading under its 200 moving day average. It also had found its bottom at about $18.25. It reached that price a few times back in May or so, and then in June as well. And it's been on a little bit, it's in a channel a little bit higher. We can draw a line potentially over here, and then maybe another line around this level over here at about, what is that, 20.75 or so. So again, even at the $20 mark, it's probably resistance. So again, this one's just trading sideways. I think, again, the lower it goes, the more you want to average your cost basis. If there's some kind of momentum in the sector, then there's a potential for them to move together, but not necessarily. It's completely random. So not much to see on the graph in this one right now, but if we do pass maybe the $20 mark or the $20.75, $21 mark, again, with momentum, with conviction, with volume, then we have potential to see those highs again from earlier this year in February at $22, and then maybe we can see new highs at 23 and so on. Again, Algonquin is a growth beast. It will eventually make new highs. It's just a matter of when, not if. So there isn't too much to dissect when it comes to either of these companies in the short term, which could be a little bit boring, a little bit of a lull for some people. But however, that can sometimes be the best thing, to just forget about your investments, live your life, and then look at it years later and see how much it's appreciated with compound interest. And you know, when you find a $20 bill in your pocket years later, in your jacket pocket, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know I had this. It's the same thing with your investments. Sometimes you forget about it, and then you look at it years later, and it's appreciated. So if you look at it every day, you're just gonna drive yourself nuts. But again, just let it do its thing. Stay patient with a PAY, and it will come to you. Otherwise, that is the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.